Stop talking about comic books or I'll kill you. I don't care if the Hulk could defeat the Man of Steel.
Hey there, comic fans. It's me, Bullseye Bob, and welcome to the first show of Everything Comics. And this is the first episode of Having Comics with My Coffee. And I'm coming to you live and in living color from the Refuge Coffee House at 9217 Southeast Foster Road in Portland, Oregon. This is a great coffee shop, and they're going to be one of the official sponsors of the show. If you live in Portland, Oregon, come on down, have a coffee, say hi, and this place is absolutely amazing. They just had their grand opening a couple of days ago, and it's going to be awesome. So we're going to be filming this show here every Saturday morning, and I'm really excited about that. So this is the first episode of Having Comics with My Coffee. I'm going to be drinking some coffee here at the Refuge and showing you what I picked up this week as far as my new comic haul. These are comics that have come off my pull list, and I do this on Saturday because it gives me a chance to read them and kind of give you a review of what's going on and what I like about them, what I don't like about them, and maybe give you some direction on maybe what you want to buy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. So this week, these are the comics that came out on October 9th, and normally I don't buy. I do buy some comics that are not on my pull list. The first two that I'm going to show you were not on my pull list. This is from the Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy series. I just like the covers on these. I thought the artwork was amazing, and so I had to pick them up, and because I think they'd be a nice addition to my collection. I thought those are pretty amazing. And so those are my first ones. Next on the list, we have The Joker. This is the standalone comics that are coming out for the Year of the Villain. Of course, they had to coincide this with the release of the Joker movie. And I gotta say, this was written by John Carpenter. Yes, John Carpenter, the great director. Did a lot of movies in my childhood like The Thing and Escape from New York, and just a ton of movies. Great director and writer. And he writes this. Can you believe that? This John Carpenter writes a comic book. I just absolutely love it. And I will have to say that this comic is about as twisted as the movie is. So be careful with it. I think the artwork is incredible inside of it. I'm not going to give away the story, but I will have to say that it's just as twisted as the movie. So be careful when you're reading it, guys. Next up on my list, we got Flash number 80. Now, this is one of those where this is on my pull list every month. I love The Flash. I love the writer Joshua Williamson. He's been doing a fantastic job. Now, I haven't read this one yet. This is one of those that I usually like to accumulate the storyline before I read it with Joshua Williamson, just because I hate waiting month to month. And so this one here is called, the storyline is called Death in the Speed Force. I got a prediction on this. I have a feeling that we're going to get maybe a death of Barry Allen in this. And I'm only saying that because we know that Crisis on Infinite Earths is coming out on the CW. Amazing, groundbreaking crossover event. I can't wait to see it. But as you know, in the comic books, the original Crisis on Infinite Earths by George Perez and Marv Wolfman, that's where Barry Allen dies, saving the universe. And so here we are, we're Crisis on Infinite Earths. This one's called Death in the Speed Force, and I just have a feeling that we're going to get the death of Barry Allen again. Moving on to our next one, we have Detective Comics number 1013. Yes, and as you can tell by the cover, this is going to feature Mr. Freeze. I really enjoyed this comic. It's second or third in the series. And basically Lex Luthor has helped out Victor Freeze in doing something that we've never seen before, which is waking up his wife Nora. If you know anything about that particular character, that is a driving force for Mr. Freeze. If you haven't seen the original Batman the Animated Series, if you've never seen any episodes in that show, go watch the one called Heart of Ice. It was groundbreaking and won all kinds of awards. But they took a character that was, quite frankly, boring, and they transformed him into a compelling character, and his driving force is the fact that his wife died and he's had her frozen, and he's been doing everything that he can to bring her back to life. That is his driving force. And in this particular issue, Nora wakes up. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Can't wait to see what happens next. The writing's good inside of this. I love the artwork. And Detective Comics, guys, you can't go wrong with that. Next one is one of the independents that I decided to pick up. This is Pretty Deadly and the Rat. Of course, written by Kelly Sue DeConnick. Just got to see her at the Rose City Comic Con. She's a delightful human being. You know, this book I am not 100% sold on yet. Picked up the first one, never read any of the Pretty Deadly previous material, and I thought I'd take a chance on it. And when it got to the end of the first book, she did this thing with these 3 Reapers that was just amazing, artistic, and really grabbed a hold of me. And so I'm on board. I'll read this book and see where it takes me. This book was kind of still kind of ambiguous, didn't kind of really know where it was going. And then by the end of the book, I was grabbed a hold of again. Really liking this. That's Pretty Deadly, the Rat, and check this one out. It's pretty cool. Then, of course, the next one I got is, we got Powers of X number 6. This wraps up the new X-Men storyline by Jonathan Hickman. You know, I've been enjoying these. It's been kind of a roller coaster in the beginning. I really like some of the storylines. The last couple of issues haven't been all that great. But I should say the last couple of issues, like 3 or 4, it started to take a lull. But issues 5 and 6 of the storyline, I really like where they ended this, and it really sets the tone for where they're going with the X-Men universe. I'm not a fan of how much they've had to reset these characters, you know, over time, but I get it. But in this particular case, I think I'm more excited about Marvel and the whole mutant storyline. I've always been an X-Men fan, and so I'm really excited to see where they take this. What do you think about that? What do you think about the Jonathan Hickman storyline, and what do you think about where they're going with this? Leave a comment, let me know. The next one I picked up, this is not normally on my pull list, but it's brand new this month. It's a brand new miniseries, 12-part miniseries called The Batman's Grave. This was, like I said, brand new. I really like this one. You know, whenever I read a brand new comic, especially number 1, I usually tend to like it, and that's not a reflection of how good the comic actually is, but I haven't really got to the rest of the storyline yet. I think this is kind of one of those type of things. I liked the action, I liked the story, I liked the gravitas between Batman and Alfred inside of this issue, and I'm kind of interested to see where they're going to go with this, but I really like this first story, so I hope they keep that level. That usually is what ends up happening with a first issue. I like it, and then it kind of starts to let me down afterwards. Not everyone, but a good majority of comics do that to me, because I get excited. I get excited right out the gate. So don't take this as like, you know, oh, this is a great comic. It is, but it could be one of those that in the end, we'll see what happens. And then the last one off my normal pull list would be brand new this week, Dr. Doom. Yeah, it's my favorite villain of all time, has his own standalone series. I'm so excited about this. When they announced it, I was the first in line with my LCS over at Comics Adventure. I told them I want that book. I love Dr. Doom. If you know anything about me, it's all about DD, Daredevil and Dr. Doom. Those are my 2 favorite Marvel characters. And so I was really excited to get this. I like this first story. It kind of doesn't really do much, but it sets up, I think, where they're going with the book. Get a chance, pick this one up. I think you'll enjoy it, but I'm really excited to see where they go with it. Then the next one comes from the new DC Black Label. This is Joker and Harley. I like these new Black Label books. Very artistic. They're high quality. You know, not all of them have been great so far, but this one, I love the writing. The artwork is amazing in this. You got to check it out. I think the artists are Nico Shuyan and Mike Mayhew. I don't know if I said those right, but if for anything else, if you're not a Joker or Harley fan, check out the artwork in this thing. It is truly phenomenal. There's some photorealistic stuff inside of here that just blew me away, and with every turn of the page, I was just loving it. So check that one out, guys. And then, you know, it's not just about the pull list, because if I keep doing and showing my pull list, it may get kind of boring going forward, because I'm a creature of habit. There are certain books that I always read. I'll always try to pick up things, you know, like you saw the Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy covers. I got those just for the covers. But there are other ones that I read monthly. You'll always get that on this show. But then I always try to at least pick up an independent or two, or something new, because if I don't, I'll never know what's out there. And so I'd encourage you to do the same thing. Read comics, folks. I mean, some of the best stories that have ever been written are inside of this beautiful medium. I know that we have the MCU and a lot of things comics right now, and the source material for all that, all these things came from the comic book. So support your local comic shop and read comics, guys. That's just the best medium in the world. And I would say that it's become truly an American art form. I know that other countries do it, but let's just face it, we got to own what we have created in this country for the last 80 years, a genre that really wasn't seen before, the superhero. And I know the whole world has caught fire with this, and I'm just so proud of the fact that I have always loved comics, and I love this medium. And so anyway, last but not least, here's a book that I picked up. It's an older book, not that much older, but I picked up Spawn, number 219. Now this particular comic, I got it because it's one of the low print runs. I'm trying to collect everything from 150 to 250. There's a lot of low print run comics inside of there. This one is a little higher priced because people like the cover. That's the only thing I was able to find out that's special. It's not a key, but it usually runs for about 30 bucks. If you check out eBay, or you go to your LCS if they have it. I got it for a really good price. What do you think, guys? Should I keep it, or should I sell it? Well, what would your spec be on it? Do you think it's going to hold its value going forward? Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Well, that's it, folks. Those are my comic hauls for this week. I hope you enjoyed sitting here with me, having some coffee. Today I'm having a great pull-over Ethiopian coffee. This is amazing stuff. If you are looking for a good place to have some coffee, come over here to the Refuge. They just opened up. It's, again, 9217 Southeast Foster Road. Come check it out. If you're going to come, let me know. I'll come and meet you. I'll buy you a coffee. And so last but not least, I want to make sure that I give a couple shout outs to a few people that I really appreciate. First, I just wanted to say thank you, Bueller from Comics with Bueller. Buddy, I mean, I appreciate you very much for the encouragement you've given me and pushing me forward a little bit. I don't think I would have moved forward with starting some of the content that I want to create without your prompting and some of the advice that you give me. So thank you, buddy. Really appreciate you. And I also want to give a big shout out to Super Dave. I know Super Dave and I haven't filmed Fortress of Popitude for a while, but that doesn't mean the show's gone. I mean, it's still there. We just haven't filmed for a while. We'll be getting together again soon and filming a Fortress of Popitude. He's got a new channel that he's creating, and I'm really excited about that. I'll let you know all about that when it's going to come out. But more power to you, Super Dave. Love you, man, and can't wait to see what you do next. Well, that's it, guys. Having comics with my coffee. I hope you enjoyed the show. Do me a favor, hit like and subscribe if you like this. Leave a comment. Did you like this show? What would you like to see going forward? Did you not like this show? I really would appreciate the feedback. Until next time, make sure that you stay safe, and hey, Excelsior, guys.